In today's video, we're going to talk about how to spot when your fuel injector gets bad, what that does to your car, and some tips to avoid shelling out for unnecessary fixes on it. Let's jump straight into the video. The fuel injector's main job is to let in just the right amount of fuel for your engine. It opens up for a bit, letting the fuel mix with air and spark to make the engine go. It sprays fuel into the engine cylinder through a little nozzle which starts the combustion process. The fuel injector has to do all this at exactly the right time, with the perfect amount of fuel and at the right angle and spray pattern. There are a few reasons why a fuel injector might get clogged. A common one is a dirty fuel filter, which can let tiny bits of gunk slip through. Also, if you're in a snowy area, the roads can cause corrosion. Over time, if your fuel lines start rusting, that corrosion can spread to your fuel injectors. Another thing to consider is the type of fuel system your car uses. While many cars today use multi-port fuel injection, newer models might have gasoline direct injection. With this type, fuel goes straight into the combustion chamber, which can lead to carbon buildup on the injectors. Because it's right in the chamber, any leftover fuel can heat up and stick to the injector, causing blockages. So if one or more of your fuel injectors starts acting up, your car's engine won't perform as it should. We've listed 11 signs that your fuel injector might be going bad. Keep in mind that some symptoms of a clogged or dirty injector can look similar, so it's smart to try a quality fuel injector cleaner before shelling out for replacements. Number 1. Rough idle or engine stalls. When your car isn't getting the right amount of fuel, or it's getting fuel unevenly, the RPM while idling can drop below where it should be, which leads to a rough idle. You might feel your car shaking when you're stopped at a red light or a stop sign. This happens because the injector isn't releasing enough fuel into the engine. When it comes to engine stalling, it's often caused by the lean mixture. If you're pressing down on the gas pedal to pick up speed, the ECM should be adding more fuel to match the increased air intake. However, a clogged injector can prevent the right amount of fuel from being released at that moment, which results in the engine stalling. So if you suspect a clogged fuel injector because of this and want to save some money, consider using a cleaning chemical before jumping to buy a new one. Additionally, it's a good practice to clean your fuel system every 50,000 miles to prevent your injectors from getting clogged up. Number 2. Engine misfires. When a clogged injector prevents enough fuel from spraying into the engine, you will experience misfires while driving. Your car will struggle to accelerate, or there might be a noticeable pause after you press the gas pedal. It's important to address this issue immediately, as an improper air-fuel mixture can lead to engine overheating and other serious problems. Number 3. Engine vibrates. When a fuel injector is faulty, the cylinder it corresponds to won't fire properly. As you're driving, you'll feel the engine vibrating or hiccuping after each cycle, as it tries to complete the process without receiving the necessary fuel. Number 4. Acceleration delay. When you press down on the gas pedal, the throttle plate opens up, allowing more air into the engine. In response, the ECM should signal the fuel injectors to release more fuel to maintain the proper air-to-fuel ratio for combustion. However, if the fuel injectors are clogged, they may fail to supply the required amount of fuel at the rate demanded by the ECM. This results in delayed acceleration as the engine struggles to receive the necessary fuel for increased air intake. Number 5. Bad fuel economy. When the engine doesn't receive the appropriate amount of fuel required for combustion, it puts extra pressure on the injector to deliver more fuel. This leads to poor fuel economy because the car's engine control unit, ECU, mistakenly believes that more fuel is necessary than is actually needed, which results in an excess amount of fuel being injected into the engine. Number 6. Hard start, no start. When a fuel injector is clogged, it can either block fuel flow entirely or restrict it to an insufficient amount. Without the correct fuel-to-air ratio, the engine can't combust efficiently, leading to difficulty starting or even preventing the engine from starting at all. Number 7. Engine surge. When the fuel injector sprays an excessive amount of fuel into the engine cylinder, it creates a surge in the engine, resulting in slower acceleration. While driving, you'll observe that the engine RPM fluctuates noticeably under a constant load, instead of maintaining a steady RPM. Number 8. Check engine. Light on. The most evident indication of a problem is when the check engine light illuminates your dashboard. While this could mean various issues, a faulty fuel injector, indicated by a code such as P0201, could be one of them. Whenever an injector supplies either insufficient or excessive fuel, it decreases the engine's efficiency, potentially triggering the CEL. To confirm the problem, utilize an OBD2 scanner for accurate diagnosis. Number 9. Fuel odor. If gasoline isn't burning due to a damaged or stuck open injector, you'll detect a strong smell of gasoline. Occasionally, the problem might stem from faulty fuel lines or a sensor issue misleading the ECU into injecting excess fuel. Regardless of the source, it's important to identify the cause of the gasoline odor immediately and address it to prevent potential safety hazards from escalating. Number 10. Fuel leak. If your fuel injector is damaged or cracked due to wear and tear or aging, gasoline may start to leak from it. At the same time, the fuel won't reach the intended nozzle but instead seeps out from the injector body. Upon inspection, you'll likely observe gasoline on the exterior of the injector or nearby fuel rail. Frequently, the source of the leak is the fuel injector seal, which deteriorates over time. Number 11. Failed emissions test. A broken or leaking fuel injector can lead to an uneven fuel burn, which results in increased emissions. The likelihood of failing an emissions inspection significantly rises. Moreover, in severe cases, a fuel injector leak can cause the air-fuel mixture to become excessively rich, potentially leading to the premature failure of the catalytic converter. Now that we've looked at what happens when our car's injection nozzle acts up, let's explore why it happens and how we can deal with it. Let's also cover some tips to keep it running smoothly. One big reason the nozzle gets clogged fast is the fuel quality, so pay attention to the kind of fuel you're putting in your car. The second reason is driving with a low fuel level, which leads to your car's fuel pump sucking up dirt. As this dirt passes through the fuel pump and filter, it can end up in the injector nozzle. This leads to blockages, affecting the condition of the sprayer and causing problems such as increased fuel consumption, reduced power, and the check engine light coming on the dashboard. The third reason is using the wrong fuel, which is a serious mistake that can completely damage your injection system. For example, if you put gasoline into a diesel engine or vice versa and try to start the car, you can seriously damage your car's injection system. In severe cases, this damage can even reach the engine. So if you accidentally fill up with the wrong fuel, don't start the car and get the fuel drained immediately. By fixing these issues, you can keep your injection system running smoothly. Like using good quality fuel, not running on empty, changing the fuel filter when the manual says so, and giving the injection system a good cleaning now and then. It's also smart to use some fuel treatment occasionally. And if you're not sure what to do, it's always okay to get a professional's help. If you find videos like this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so we can assist you fix it.